It was a summer I never expected to change my life. The air was thick with promise, the kind that comes when everything seems possible but nothing is certain. My name is Rachel, and this is the story of how one week in June rewrote everything I thought I knew about love, connection, and second chances. I had been working non-stop for years, living in New York City where time moved faster than my heart could keep up. After a grueling project ended, my best friend Lisa practically begged me to take a break. "Come to Lake Merrick with me," she said. "You need air, peace, and something that isn't your laptop." Lake Merrick was a hidden gem in Oregon where her family owned a cabin. I agreed, mostly because I had run out of reasons to say no. My heart was tired, and my soul needed more than coffee and city lights. I packed light, unaware that I was heading towards something that would linger in my memory forever. We arrived at the cabin on a Thursday afternoon. It was surrounded by pine trees, their scent grounding me in a way that even meditation apps never could. The lake shimmered under the sunlight like it knew secrets I didn't. Lisa's family had been coming here for generations, and the place was filled with quiet charm. Wooden floors that creaked under your feet, a fire pit in the back, and a porch that begged you to sit and watch time drift by. That first night, I met him. His name was Jason. He was Lisa's cousin, someone I had somehow never met despite knowing her for years. He was tall with messy brown hair, eyes that changed between green and hazel depending on the light, and a voice that carried warmth like a blanket. He'd been through things, that much I could tell. There was a quiet strength in how he moved and an honesty in how he looked at people. Lisa introduced us casually, but something in the air shifted the moment our eyes met. Over the next few days, we all spent time hiking, cooking, sitting by the fire, and occasionally swimming in the cool lake waters. Jason and I kept ending up alone, not by design but by fate, or perhaps by the unspoken pull between two souls trying not to admit what they already knew. One morning, I woke up early and stepped onto the porch with my coffee. Jason was already there, sketching in a worn leather notebook. "You draw?" I asked, leaning over the railing. He looked up, slightly embarrassed. "Just for myself. Can I see?" He hesitated, then handed me the book. Inside were beautiful sketches, of trees, the lake, wildlife, and one that looked suspiciously like me, standing in the exact spot I was in. "You've been drawing me?" I asked, a slow smile forming. "Just once," he replied. "Twice, maybe." We both laughed. It wasn't awkward. It was easy, natural, like we had known each other before this life. That afternoon, we went on a long walk by the lake. He told me about his life, his past relationship, the business he tried to start that failed, the way he felt like he was just now starting to breathe again. I shared my own truths. The broken engagement, the burnout, the nights I cried alone in my New York apartment with no one to talk to but the walls. When we stopped, we were at a secluded spot by the water. He looked at me and said, "It's strange how you can meet someone and feel like you've been carrying their shadow your whole life." I didn't reply. I didn't have to. The silence between us said everything. Later that night, Lisa noticed our energy. She smiled and gave me a knowing look, but said nothing. I was grateful. This wasn't a fling. It wasn't something to tease about. It was quiet magic that deserved reverence. The next few days were even more beautiful. Jason and I cooked dinner together while music played softly in the background. We sat under the stars, sometimes talking, sometimes just listening to the crickets and our hearts. Every small gesture, a hand on my back, a shared blanket, the way he looked at me when I wasn't looking, made me fall a little deeper. We even started doing morning yoga together. Lisa laughed when she caught us one morning, both wobbling in tree pose on the porch. It wasn't about fitness. It was about finding rhythm with someone, breathing in sync, becoming attuned in the smallest ways. One afternoon, it rained. Not a storm, just a gentle, consistent drizzle that soaked the forest in silence. Jason and I stayed inside, playing old board games and listening to vinyl records from Lisa's father's collection. He made grilled cheese sandwiches and tomato soup, and we talked about our childhoods, the people who shaped us, the mistakes we regretted but wouldn't take back. Do you think timing is everything? I asked. He nodded. But I also think some people are meant to find each other, no matter when. By the 6th day, it felt like we had built a small world of our own. A world where time slowed, emotions bloomed, and truth came easily. I wasn't afraid to show him who I was. He wasn't afraid to do the same. We had one final dinner with Lisa before she had to leave for work commitments. Jason and I stayed behind to close up the cabin. It was just the two of us now. That night, something shifted. We walked down to the dock, the stars reflected in the lake like diamonds on black velvet. Jason took my hand and pulled me close. I don't want this to end, he whispered. Neither do I said. He kissed me, and the world went still. It wasn't rushed. It wasn't reckless. It was tender, intentional. It felt like home. We spent the night talking, curled up under blankets with the window open to let the sound of rain and crickets wash over us. He held me like he had been waiting his whole life to do so. The next morning, I sat on the porch with my coffee again. This time, Jason joined me with his sketchbook. He drew in silence while I watched the sun rise. Eventually, he showed me the page. It was me again, but different this time. I was smiling, eyes closed, face tilted toward the sky. You look happy, he said. I am, I replied. When the time came to leave, we packed in silence, unsure what words could possibly match what we had shared. At the car, he held my hand. Do we go back to our lives now? He asked. I don't know if I want to, I admitted. At least not without you in mine. It was the first time either of us had said anything close to admitting what this was. My heart beat faster. I don't want this to just be a memory, I whispered. He reached for my hand. Then let's not make it one. I didn't go back to New York that weekend. I extended my stay for another 2 weeks. During that time, we built something that felt like a foundation. We planned what life might look like in the real world, without cabins, lakes, and summer sunsets. When I finally returned home, it was different. Jason and I talked every night, FaceTiming until we both fell asleep. He visited me in New York. I went back to Lake Merrick. We didn't rush anything. We let it grow the way things are supposed to. Slowly, intentionally, beautifully. 1 year later, we bought a small place near the lake. Not full-time, just a shared retreat for us, for quiet, for remembering where it all began.